The tavern itself doesn't seem to be gathering more attention than usual. It has its local patrons. It's not empty by any means, but it's similar to when you first arrived in New Crest Hill, where you tried to stay at this very same establishment. You're allowed to enter as Dijkstra put in a good word for you, and you can see right now as you enter this area, there's multiple tables that have been set out. Long rectangular tables are stood in each side of the room, and multiple circular tables are scattered all throughout. And you can tell immediately that this establishment is is a place that's fancy, and people with money definitely come to stay. The Silver Spoon is not horrible by any means, but even here, it's a couple of tiers above that currently. You can see that the tables and the chairs are exquisite, beautifully hand-carved and maintained very well. And there's this beautiful hearth onto the side, a fireplace that welcomes a gentle flame, creating almost a beautiful ambiance into the room. As Dijkstra sits you down onto one chair in the room, it doesn't take long before suddenly even more people begin to enter. Some of them come down from the second floor that you notice is on the western side of the room, and some of them come from the same entrance you had come in. But generally, the noise in the room begins to come in full. Suddenly the place itself is becoming very busy, the sound becomes very strong, and it's almost even difficult to hear yourselves speak. But it seems that there is something that these people are awaiting. Of course, Enderal knows what this is, and Dijkstra stays off into a corner on one side. Right now, there doesn't seem to be anything going on, and there's one table in the middle of the room that is readied with special tablecloth, and it's definitely some sort of VIP section. But no one has come in there yet. What does the party do?
Everyone inside?
Yep.
Except Brackmore? Or...
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No weapons, just the new shirt I have.
Cool.
A very peaceful day for me.
Let's hope it continues. So, very soon, a very important person is gonna come into this place. I was thinking we could do some intelligence gathering while we're here, you know? Learn a little bit about who's who and what's what in the city, and maybe get a good paying job in the process. What do you guys think? This is like the perfect opportunity. This is like the creme de la creme of people.
Well,
I mean, money is nice, but I have to reconsider I have to reconsider something after the church incident.
Okay. Like what?
It's it's hard to describe it. It's kind of my own fault that he died. It seems.
good
You didn't know that this would happen. I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened, but
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
it's okay, Frigis. I mean, technically we're all in it, but they were under something. And it
Do
didn't
you
seem
think
like
they are being
even
mind
death-
controlled?
it didn't seem like even death, like, released them. It could be mind control, yes.
Yeah, the gem did something to them.
I feel like I have to dig deeper. I feel like I have to dig deeper than this.
I think so too, and it's a serious issue. I want to help you with it.
Rockmark, can I get the gist of it? So he'll leave, so he's not... So he can say he doesn't
Not
know anything.
incriminated.
You go to the bar. Fucking...
Okay.
Oh boy.
Wait, where's
Right.
the amulet right now? I'm gonna ask.
The amulet.
The stone,
Yes.
Oh, it's
it's
with
with
me.
Frigis.
Okay.
You have it here?
All right.
What?
You have it here in this place right now.
I mean, well, where else am I supposed to keep it?
Well, it's a dangerous thing.
I know it's
Interest-
dangerous. I know it's dangerous, but what if I leave it in our room and then some dumbos climb through our windows and steal our stuff? They might steal this shit as well.
That's true. Maybe this is the safest place to have it.
Yeah, right,
It's okay.
right under my satchel.
I'll
Yeah.
be right next to him the whole night.
Okay, good.
Sure.
Mid-conversation, Brackmar stands up and goes towards the counter. And he disappears off into a small crowd, but he's definitely taller than the rest, so you can still kind of spot him even while sitting down. And at the corner of your table, you realize a companion that you paid very little attention to so far has a very grim look on her face, and it looks like, despite being naturally pale already, all the color in her face has disappeared. She looks as white as a ghost, and her hands are obviously shaking on the table, and she shoots glances at each one of you and eventually mutters under her breath, like, I don't know how you guys do it. I just don't. And that's all she says.
I feel a bit bad. I guess I shouldn't tell
just-
her
You
that
should.
the only thing I do is try not to think about it.
Should we just follow Brackmar? She's kinda creeping me out.
Yeah, go take a drink. You'll feel better.
Really? I guess I might. I guess I might.
Perhaps
Oh,
you're right.
well.
I'm assuming you guys are used to this sort of thing by now.
Well, you know. And then Daryl kind of leans back and at first kicks her foot up and then realizes she has like a dress on and quickly takes them down. And, you know, this is just how life is, you know, when you're an adventurer, you're out and you're fighting the criminals, you know.
He lets out a very weak smile looking towards you. He says, perhaps you're right. But there's still obviously some doubt into her face, and it hasn't completely sunken into her. I will take your advice, and I'll go to the counter as well. And she disappears, standing up, very frail and weakly, towards the bar where Brackmore had gone.
Before she, like, is able to turn and leave, I just grab her
Mhm.
and I just say, seize the day! Seize the day! And I let her go.
She doesn't react so much, but as soon as you let go of her hand, she sort of like jerks it back and says, I will. And then she disappears.
Poor Maria.
She'll be alright. She's stronger than she lets on. She just doesn't know it yet.
Is she? Is she,
Sure.
though?
Yeah. I mean, that girl survived being tossed into a well and
The tentacle
swimming on top
monster.
of like a huge tentacle monster. She'll be fine,
I suppose you're right.
right? As I was Lisbeth, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
The three reassure themselves over the situation, and your eyes shoot towards the door, and it seems that there's a little bit of a ruckus from the outside. But before that, Brackmar goes closer towards the counter, and you find a familiar creature that you had met before. It's a gnome, about 4'8", 4'9", standing behind a stool onto the counter. And he wears relatively fancy clothes, but not fancier than the patrons currently residing on the tables. And he looks at you and he says, welcome back.
Yes. Hello. Oh no, that's Brackmar, right?
So, anything I can get for you today?
Yeah, a milk, please.
Milk?
Yeah.
Right.
Is Maria coming? 2 milk.
She comes closer. Okay. All right. Here you go. He gets a small. It's not a flask. It's like bottles of milk at the bottom. That's formed into very cheap glass, and he just pours it down on 2 tankards that are very cheap. Not cheap, but very thin, fragile looking, almost like porcelain. It's like china almost, but not quite. And he hands it over to you and just pours 2 glasses of milk.
Thanks.
Do you do anything else?
No.
Okay.
I know, and the show will be boring, so I'll just start listening around.
We'll make a perception check as Maria comes closer.
Oh, 18.
Oh. Just looking around the bar, you sort of have this circular stool, and you look around with your hands behind the counter with a glass of milk in one hand. Onto your left, you see Maria coming closer, but onto your right, you see this group of commoners that have gathered together. And they seem to be a little bit more on the... not on the edge, but they seem to be anxious over something. You see smiles on their faces, and although they're not bunched up together, they're sort of in their seats, they're smiling at one another, and you just hear the phrases, "I can't wait." And they're like, "Yeah, could you believe it, tonight?" And that's all the very small amounts of information that you hear.
When Maria comes, I will slide her the glass of milk. There.
Jeez. He grabs it.
I
he
don't
says,
want to know, but yeah, you shouldn't have followed them.
"Yeah, I think you're right. They said I should just probably just forget about it." Takes the milk.
You're due for a new life within the next couple of days. You'll make a lot of new memories. You'll be alright.
I hope you're right. Suddenly, from the outside, the doors open once more. But instead of a group of people coming closer, you instead see a very, very, very well-dressed, bald man with a gray beard that forms off just a little bit off at the bottom. It's not long like a wizard style. It's very well kempt and very groomed. And he seems to be dressed very, very nicely, above everyone else currently in the room. But even from here, as you're in the counter and the rest of you are onto the table, you can immediately tell that this man does not look like he was born into a life of riches. As he comes closer, he sort of cracks his knuckles, and you see very, very calloused knuckles and fingertips from afar. You see a couple of scratches onto his face, and the eyes of this man just look like eyes that have seen quite a bit. He is followed by 2 other men that are dressed in what looks to be similar to Brackmar's outfit, a brigandine, covered in multiple layered clothings with a scarf of orange. It looks like they're trying to draw attention to themselves, but they are both wearing similar outfits, and they both have gigantic swords on their back.
I quietly kind of nudge Dijkstra, and I'm like, is that him? Is that him?
Yes, that's Lord Gillingham, yes.
I get up, and I stride towards him.
Nix just stops you right off the bed. What are you doing?
I'm gonna welcome him. I'm gonna show him his seat. And...
No one walks up to Lord Gillingham.
Why?
I'll introduce you
Okay.
after your performance.
Okay. Sure. Sit down again.
Don't worry. If everything goes according to plan, you and I can make a very, very fortuitous relationship.
You better be right about that.
I'm always right. And you can see he's not confident with like sweats dripping down the side of his face.
Okay.
But generally, he sits down onto the table that has beautiful tablecloth. His 2 other men with gigantic swords drop them onto the table as well. And one woman follows him. This woman, unlike the rest of them, is wearing what looks to be You've seen some of the Crown's Guard before, as you were traveling from Heinfeld towards Crest Hill, and when Brackmar gained some of that bounty. It's very similar in aesthetic, except of course it's not wearing any armor at all. Rather, it's just robes that bear a similar design, white with silver trims, and she doesn't seem quite comfortable as she's in here. She has long raven black hair and sits down alongside the others, and as the chair is pulled out, she seems to be very paranoid, even without any insight checks at all. It's just something that's very obvious. She sticks out like a sore thumb, and when she sits down, she keeps glancing left and right.
And she was wearing this armor?
Not like robes that are very similar to the Crown's Guard armor, but
Okay.
she herself doesn't seem to be wearing any form of battlement anyway. There seems to be a group of people that try to come closer, but whenever somebody tries to, one of these two guys with the big sword stands up and sort of pushes them away or just gestures them not to come any closer. And the people, seeing the big swords, follow, and they all stride back to their tables and sit down. This guy that's sitting in the middle of the room seems to be a very no-nonsense kind of guy. And he just sits down, he gets poured some ale, and then he drinks it and waits patiently. After a few short moments, you begin to see one individual sort of come closer towards the eastern side of the room, closer to the fireplace, and starts playing an instrument. The crowd eventually fades and starts paying attention to the music being played. The rest seem to be paying attention to this troubadour of some sort. But Enderil, being a performer, you know this person's not the main event. After a while, Dijkstra comes closer towards where the fireplace is and sort of harkens everyone's attention. And he says, "Thank you for all coming tonight. We have very special entertainment, and I hope you will enjoy. We have two special guests tonight. One, Lady Enderil's Shadow Song, a far traveler and adventurer, but also a skilled artist. The other, a strange but famous, well, let's say, visionary, Mr. Philippe. But before anything else, let's thank the merchant." And Mr. Gillingham stands up in the middle of the room, and everybody applauds him, "for allowing us to serve you tonight." He gives a quick bow, and he gives a smile, and it's surprisingly a very warm smile. It's not like a "I will kill you in your sleep" kind. It's the "oh no, it's fine, no big deal" kind. He sits down, and everybody sort of just admires him from afar. Dijkstra then calls everyone's attention. "Now, without further ado, Miss Lady Enderil Shadowsong." And he beckons you onto the stage.
I get up and I gracefully walk towards the stage, and I pick up my violin, and I kind of face everyone and just give a slight nod before I start playing. Kind of like upbeat. It starts to gets very intense, kind of like the Wellerman song, the Sea Shanty.
Mm-hmm.
Sea Shanty. Yeah, that's like the start. Just warming up the crowd.
Okay. Make a performance check to see how well you get the first impression, so to speak.
Yes.
I've already had the...
Wow.
It's
I-
always the same. I already know it was coming. She always does shit. So
I clap
what I wanted to
anyway.
say is I won't be looking at the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking at the people, trying to see people not looking at the stage.
Okay.
And that's my whole night since the beginning.
So to begin with, Enderil comes forward. Everybody has their eyes on her, and there seems to be the man who is called the merchant, aka Lord Gillingham, sort of tilts his head to the side and pays attention. And as soon as you play your first note, it just plays flat. Like it's not. It's a stent. I'm sure, Boom, you know what it is. Like it's between a flat and a note. It's
Oh
not even
yeah,
on
yeah,
scale.
yeah.
So it just feels very dissonant. That first
I
note.
mean, to be fair, she might play an exotic scale, so it's technically still in key, and that's intentional. But
Well, like to put it in perspective, like people think it's the tritone. So like when you play, and everybody sort of just gets their head back a little bit. But being the performer that Enderil is, her expression doesn't change so much. So after the first one, she stays in character and tries to save the day. Make another performance check.
Pythons aren't bad, by the way.
21.
I know, like now, not so much, but historically, it was the devil's key.
So I kind of like stop, and very exaggeratedly and like humorously just start tuning my violin, and then start going for real,
All right, perfect.
trying to save it.
Okay. Enderil begins to play a beautiful piece on her violin. Everybody sort of gets this strange look at the beginning, going, "Oh, what did we get ourselves into?" And then eventually they go, "Ah," and they start paying attention to the music. And it's to a degree where it's so captivating that it's not just like, "Oh, this is kind of good." With a 21, you're obviously someone who's skilled in their art. So it's like seeing someone who has expertise on this specific craft. And it catches people's attention. And Brackmar, looking at the crowd and everyone else, you do notice that Lord Gillingham sort of perks up a little bit and starts paying attention to the music that's being played. There's murmur into the crowd. People are sort of whispering to one another. And Cecilia, the gnome's adopted daughter, the tall redhead that you met originally, walks around the room serving people, and then she sees Enderil performing, as she said she was a famous performer during their first encounter. You see Cecilia sort of looking at Enderil and goes, "Not bad." She's like, "Oh, I guess she wasn't kidding." And she stops in her tracks for a second, pays attention for 5 seconds before she goes on to her duties of pouring drinks for everyone else. A very well accepted first performance. And you mentioned that this is meant for like a long night. So I'd like to ask you to roll another performance check for whatever it is that you've got prepared for the second part.
Sure, but I'm gonna cast major image,
Oh, okay.
and the whole stage I'm on is transformed into this dense forest. It's like the mood on stage gets kind of oppressive,
Mhm.
as something's weighing down on something, and me appearing as the legendary Bridget Silver Bow, Silver Arrow, Silver Bow, something like that.
Let's call it Silver Bow for now.
Yeah, suddenly starts stalking through these jungles, this forest, as if something's like chasing her. And I can concentrate on this spell for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So I'm picturing like there's this intense chase scene. Well, sometimes I make these sound effects with my violin to ramp up the tension.
Sure. Okay. With the use of major image, you can go ahead and make a performance check with advantage.
Thank God for that. Good, 23.
Perfect. This time, definitely people have started paying attention even more because you've gone transcended from just music into even more visual representation. And people are just paying attention to you completely. Some of the men at the back are just glued their eyes onto you. Some of the women whisper about you in a corner. And the bartender, the gnome, just looks at from his counter, and Brackmar, you can see this because he's onto your left side. He just sort of leaned forward with his hand onto his chin, just paying attention very intently. There's no chatter into this room save for a few whispers between the women, but it is a very beautiful performance. Everyone who is an Enderal, make a quick perception check.
All right.
And I am drinking.
Ooh, nice. I would say that Lisbeth is
Or range.
probably on the edge looking around because of what happened at the church and the fact that they have the amulet.
Sure. The two is Maria, by the way.
Me and Maria are talking.
During this event, Frigis sort of looks around, mind occupied with the events that had just passed. Lisbeth, on the other hand, uses this tension to start paying attention towards the surrounding areas. A little sense of paranoia surrounding her. Whereas Maria finds comfort in Brackmore's shoulders. And she's just sort of like, with you facing towards the stage, she faces the bartender and her head onto your shoulder a little bit. And you just feel her tears pouring down onto the side of your shoulder.
No.
And you hear this every now and again.
Very
This-
uncomfortable.
This uncomfortability prevents you from scanning the rest of the room, and you just feel...
Uncomfortable.
Bridget, you notice a very faint individual come down the stairs.
Lisbeth or Frigis?
Sorry, Bridget. Bridget. Lisbeth.
I was like,
That's my character in the play.
Yeah. Lisbeth, you notice this strange individual come down from the stairs. And this person doesn't draw much attention to themselves. But they're obviously not wearing the same type of clothing that everyone else is. Comes closer, comes down, has a cloak above their heads, and just sort of pulls it back. And you see this very long purple hair that goes down off into a corner. Onto a side, onto her right breast, basically. And it's braided down.
It's a lady. It's the lady. I know this lady, right? Because we've seen her. She was
You have seen her.
drinking across from us at a tavern, and she was staring at us.
Mm-hmm.
I
You find it strange that she's there, and
not-
although she comes, go ahead.
she's not looking in our direction, right? Where is she looking at? At
She's
Endera?
looking at Enderal, or at least the general direction of where Enderal is. Enderal's on the right side of the room. She's coming down from the left side of the room, from the
So,
staircase,
I think
and you're sort of in the middle.
I also remember that back when she was watching us, she was staring at. Oh crap! I forgot if she was staring at Elizabeth, at Frigis or Endero. Pablo, no.
I don't know either.
Either
Oh
way.
yes, okay, I remember. Okay, she was looking at Andrew, so I'm going to like sort of like jab my elbow into Frigis and say, Frigis, Frigis.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the lady I saw staring at Andrew the other time.
Mid
The
sentence
lady?
while you're doing that, before Frigis can gather her thoughts and look at the general direction that you're looking at,
Mhm.
she comes down, and it looks like she's pulling something from her chest, like a pocket into her coat.
Boba's heart.
Pulls out
Boba Sot, no!
a very, very, very slim needle. If you weren't paying attention so closely to her, you probably would have not noticed it either. Coincidentally, it just flickers by a torch nearby, and you see this small sheen onto this thin metal needle that she extends upwards. She pulls it back. It looks like she's ready to throw.
How far?
What do you do?
How far away is Andrew from me?
From you, quite far.
60 feet? not more than 60 feet, right?
Well, no. 30 feet.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm going to sort of I wanna like bonus action cast Shield of Faith on her.
Can I
Like-
misty step right in front of her?
Well, no, not quite, because even with her telling you, it's not enough time for you to sort of understand the situation. Only Lisbeth can react at this
Yeah,
point.
so I will bonus action Shield of Faith on her. I think
Okay.
that should be fast enough.
Okay. Alright. A bonus action is definitely faster than an action. Let me read up on Shield of Faith real quick.
Just +2 to
Just to
AC.
AC.
I'm
Let's do to
sorry.
AC.
I do
Yeah.
hope it's enough.
Fine.
Being
Why is it
targeted
not
now.
casting? Is it casting? Doesn't seem to be casting.
Who's being
Uh,
targeted by a throwing knife and the spell?
It looks like it's hard to tell from here, but from what Lisbeth gathers, it's at your direction. Let me check this real quick just to make sure I'm not messing it up.
Oh no, okay, I've already casted it twice, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go.
It's okay. You only have to click it once.
Also, DM, I said earlier that I was gonna heal myself.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Just use a level 2. I don't see the
Oh.
numbers.
Okay.
But oh, there it is. I need to click that. Okay. So I have 26 HP.
All right.
Good.
So as this takes place, Enderal's performing her music, when suddenly this almost very faint glimmering golden aura forms around her, and almost no more than a second after that, you begin to see these multiple flying silver needles towards your direction. I'd like to ask Frigis, Lisbeth, and Enderal to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, us as well.
Oh,
That's what I'm good at.
Pew pew. Oh,
that's
damn.
what I'm not so good at. Oh god.
Natural one.
We all
Which is-
failed. Oh shit. I mean, oh man.
Bridget doesn't feel well tonight.
Why does this always happen?
Okay, for that,
For
oh
that,
my
we
god,
die.
not quite.
One d4 plus 6. Yeah. 1d4 plus 66 damage.
No, not quite.
66 poison damage?
With the three of you failing your throws, suddenly, into this room, you hear this as this needles begin to pierce through everywhere, and you have the small chair in front of you, Enderal, and you hear it as it sticks onto the walls, onto the wooden side of this chair, and you begin to hear this as people around you begin to drop dead. It seems that there were these needles, as she threw one, multiple copies of it begin to fly around the room. And a lot of these people drop dead instantaneously. In fact, a table in front of you, the four commoners here just go onto their tables. You also see, as some of the needles struck you onto your shoulder, Lord Gillingham has been stabbed by these needles as well, and some of his men. Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh,
Every damn time I
Every
perform, this
goddamn
happens.
time.
This is true, though.
Why is everything so bad? Why am I rolling so low? I rolled a 3 and now I roll a 1.
Yeah, I just rolled a 5.
We need to get like cleansed.
Yeah, we need to get cleansed. I need emotional support.
Same comes with the new characters
What?
after TPK.
Not quite. Did I tell you how much damage it was?
No.
It was only 26.
26?
Hey, das ist the HP.
26 damage?
Wait,
Yeah, 26. So if any of you goes down, there's that.
who
I go.
on both of
I
us?
go
On
down.
all of us? Each of us get
All of you
26
who
damage?
failed, yes, that's correct.
Yep, I am.
I'm dead.
I'm dead.
I'm gonna roll
We
to
didn't-
concentrate on my spell.
We didn't heal properly after our fight. Goodbye,
Nope.
Brakmar.
That's what you get for killing priests and then running away.
Should have used my.
So
my
Lisbeth
what-
is down, Frigis is down.
And your
Brakmar?
shield is also down. I'm sorry.
I'm on the other side of the room. It's like
Yeah,
someone
Brakmar did
crawling on
not
my
get hit.
shoulder.
Maria didn't get hit either.
This is not good, guys.
This is
I keep telling you, just don't get hit. You got hit.
All right. So if you now direct your attention to the
El Mapo?
yeah,
Where is it?
this is what you see.
I see nothing.
Un momento, por favor.
Okay. It's not revealed yet.
Too slow. I'm out.
Hello, reveal. What are you doing, bro? Just work with me here.
It's like
what?
your players
are
are
you
dead.
doing?
What encounter?
There
Yes.
it is.
There it is.
Good old-fashioned tavern encounter.
Enderill's right here. Oh, Enderill's right here by the table. The four of these guys are just completely down.
How do I zoom out? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hey, at least we won't have any suspicions on us since we also died.
Yeah.
I don't want Elizabeth to die. Wow.
Just-
Even if
that's-
you're down, roll for initiative for me.
The stairs is very, very far.
We all rolled.
5.
Wait, is this her? Is this the lady?
Oh,
No, no.
the two down are at 5 initiative. It was meant to be, guys. Make new characters.
Yeah, maybe it is time.
I like Elizabeth. I'm gonna play as Elizabeth's sister.
All right, so this is the one that threw the daggers.
Who
All
that?
right.
Purple dagger lady on the
Okay. ooh.
opposite side.
So her picture is just a dagger. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was too lazy to bother with it.
She's not
Okay.
even a pictured NPC, and we died to her, guys. Not guys.
Just
Just
don't get hit.
just Regis and
Okay. Is this correct, Enderil? You have 14 HP.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Just make sure everything's loaded as it should. Thankfully, the people just close to her doesn't get affected. What seems like it completely went past them and hit the table elf into the middle with Lord Gillingham, and the rest of you are affected by the end of the room. It was some sort of cone that the further
Yeah.
away it expanded even further. With this, you have a couple of needles stuck onto your left shoulder, Enderil. It's not particularly long, but there was quite a lot, and 4 of them stuck themselves to your shoulder. What do you do?
I curse in my native language, and I'm still just like, why does this keep happening? And I look up. I see? You said the merchant was dead, or he was stabbed.
Yes. Well, he was affected by some of the needles as well.
Right. How about his companions?
They're all alive, but a lot of them are in a similar situation as yours.
Okay. And these civilians, they're fine.
They're fine.
Okay. Let's
You can see
what-
them sort of ducked down, just looking everywhere.
Yeah, this is not a good situation to be in. I'm gonna use my bonus action to healing word Lisbeth. First level, so that's like a D4, isn't it?
Plus modifier.
So you heal for 6,
thank you.
so you're no longer dead. I have range. I don't have my weapons. Where are my weapons? I didn't bring my. Well, I brought a bow on stage because I was playing Bridget, so I have arrows too. Sure.
I don't have any armor or weapon.
She is actually 110 feet away, just within range from me. So I'm gonna shoot.
Go ahead.
First one is 12. Second one is 9. So that failed.
With the needles off into your hand, you pull off 2 arrows and you knock them onto your bow, and you take 2 shots. Whether it's the pain from the initial stabbing onto your shoulder, or the creature is able to move really quickly, it sort of just ducks down. The arrows land right behind her.
Yeah, I'm gonna run down to this corner and kind of hide behind this this table. I want to try to push it up if I can. If not, that's fine. I'll just duck under it. How do I move now? There, like that. That's my turn.
Make an athletics check real quick to see like your free item interaction, how well you can move this table up real quickly.
6.
You try to, and you realize it's much heavier than you initially thought. It's like heavy. I don't know what kind of wood there is in Europe, but like not a tree style. Like it's heavy wood.
Sure.
Fancy tables.
All right. Do you end your turn?
Yep.
With that, this guy immediately stands up and just starts rushing towards where the lady is. From his spot, he can reach up to here. So you can see him sort of just jump up onto the table with this big ass sword swinging around, but he doesn't quite make it to her yet. It looks like he takes his action to focus on dodging the next turn. This one, you see this young lady. She actually stands in front of Lord Gillingham and extends her hand outwards, and 2 rays of fire fly towards the one who had just thrown needles. Let's see if that works.
Is
Queen Firebolt.
hope it's not burning hands because that's gonna end badly.
They're very thin flames that fly out of the palm of her hands and go towards the lady. The first one misses, but it doesn't catch ignition onto the wooden furniture. It just instead disperses off everywhere, leaving a scorch mark in the background. But the second one lands on the creature's chest, burning a little bit his clothes, and you see her growl a little bit, and fangs appear as she goes. She is affected by this quite awfully, actually.
Oh, fire!
All right. This guy does the same thing. Goes up here, sword in hand, focuses on dodging the next turn, and she suffers 10 points of damage from the fire that the lady had thrown at her. With that, Brackmar, what do you do?
I will see what's happening, just sigh. Because I mean, at least I don't have to hear no more of her music. And dash behind the assailant, using my action to dash, get here. I will bonus action just crack my knuckles, and my echo goes in front of her.
Okay.
There's one that operates in front of her.
I should make a copy of your echo.
Someone
And,
home me.
I will action surge and punch her.
Go ahead.
I'm not proficient, so it's
That's
minus-
strange.
minus my proficiency bonus.
I think everyone's proficient in punting.
In what?
I think even
Okay.
wizards are proficient in punting.
Okay.
But you deal 1 plus your strength modifier.
Yeah. With advantage of the echo, 18 to hit.
Hits.
I will make it goating attack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
So she needs to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 15.
No, Nikore, hold on. I deleted her instead.
you just punched her out of it.
There we go. She's fine, guys.
Brackmar is secretly a 17 level monk. Quivering palm.
She has to make a what?
Wisdom saving throw. DC 15.
Alright. Doesn't succeed.
Okay. Then she takes 1 plus force of 5 plus another 1 from the maneuver, so 6 damage. Bludgeoning.
Okay.
And with my now that failed, trying to get her attention on me, I will try to force it. My second attack will be trying to grapple.
Okay. Then she has to make a contest against yours.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an
My
athletics roll.
Wait, can you grapple as well? Didn't you use you didn't you dash to get there?
I action surged.
Ah, nice.
With the 13,
13.
you're able to punch her straight off into the gut, and she growls at you, and this sort of like black ichor falls off the side of her face. And you sort of try to bear hug her, but instead she jumps on your back and does a backflip. Not quite.
Okay. That's my turn.
With that, you can see Gillingham here shouts out loud, "Everyone get out!" And ever suddenly these guys in front of you, in front of these bodyguards in the middle of the fight, suddenly just sort of take action and sort of running away, heading straight for the door. Some of them stumble onto themselves, but they're not very fast because of the panic that they're going through. He does, however, pull out what was a concealed short sword off to his side, and he shouts out loud, "Pagos!" And a blue flame appears in front of it. But that's his turn. And with
What's
that,
that?
it is Lisbeth.
Right, I'm gonna
A blue
five-
flame grows around him, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna five.
Found
foot
all of them?
step.
Sorry, Elizabeth.
Oh, I want that.
It's just a very faint blue light grows around him.
Well, I'm gonna wake you up so you can go and grab that. So yeah, 5 foot step to Fridges, and I'm going to give a 3rd level cure wounds.
Ooh.
Hopefully that is pretty good. So you heal for 21. That's more than half your
Yeah.
HP. Are you sure your HP is
Yeah.
32?
Yeah. It's still a lot.
Wizard
So,
HP.
Okay, so yeah, you get
Yes.
yes. Unfortunately, I cannot use my bonus action to heal myself. I will, however, use another 25 feet to move closer to not inside that. I'm gonna move closer to the dead people to check, see if they really are dead. Yeah.
Well, they're as dead can be. You can see some of them. The needles have gone through their skulls, and both
Boy.
ends of their head have blood seeping through.
Yikes.
These were commoners, and they suffered 26 damage. They're gone.
Ah. So they are all. Which commoner is still alive?
These ones at the
One.
bottom are still fine.
Okay.
This is Maria.
ones-
I can't
The
find her.
ones that didn't get hit.
Okay. Alright. Thank you.
Do you do anything else?
I think with my bonus action, I'm going to. Oh no, I already cast a spell. Not that's okay.
Okay, do you end your turn then?
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Frigis, what do you do?
All right, you fuck. How of this? Scorching Ray, 2nd level.
Go ahead.
Scorching Ray. 16. That's 12. And second one. Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Scorching Ray is best
Yeah,
spell.
Scorching Ray. And the final one.
Nice.
Nice. Ooh. I sent three blades made of flame at the mofo.
I don't-
Okay. Alright. Go ahead. So that's 12, 15. How much total?
12, 15, and 7. So I can't do math.
27 and 34.
34 total.
Ooh.
All right.
And
These 3 rays of fire scorch in between her. It almost like goes across into the room, illuminating the sides of the walls, and the shadows dance a little bit. It lands on each of her side, and she screams, "Ah!" And even more of that ichor falls down from the side of her face, and you see parts of her armor, or at least her leather cloak, has scorched holes into it. You do
Alright.
anything?
With my 40 movement, I assume it's enough to go behind the couch.
Behind the couch? Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. That's only 15 feet.
Sure. I hide behind the couch and end my turn.
Okay. All right. And with that, it is her turn. However, this time, she smiles instead of panic and fear. She disappears from in front of you, Brackmar, in a black cloud of smoke, and appears on top of the table onto the side. And she laughs at you for a second, spits a bit of the blood off onto the floor. She pulls out her blade, and her blade is as black as night. It leaves a trail as she moves it around, and she moves it 3 times, and on the third one, a cone of shadow appears around her, creating magical darkness.
Oh boy.
Good.
I
That's a
want
lot
that!
of darkness.
That's a lot of darkness, I know. Those who are caught inside, you can't see further out, and you can still, with dim vision, you can still see inside, but it's very difficult. It's not like you're blind. And for those who are outside, absolutely cannot see in. With that, she pulls one dagger and flings it towards Brackmar, and one towards this guy.
You can see them?
She can.
Hmm.
Oh.
She's a Hexblade Warlock with Devil's Eyes.
With Devil's Eyes and Darkness. I hate this combo so much.
Thank you.
Brackmar, with your hands sort of in top as you just let out a gutter punch onto her side. It glances off the side of your shirt, but thankfully it doesn't hurt you at all.
I have, even with my 12 AC, I don't
Even
have
with your
armor.
12 IC. I rolled like really, really low.
It's okay, she sucks.
Onto the other guy, although it's very difficult for you to see, you hear this think as the dagger just sort of bounces his brigandine. It deals damage, but you hear this grunt from the guy. Alright. That ends her turn. With that, Lisbeth, what do you do?
I think it's Ender's turn.
Andrew.
Oh, sorry, Enderil, not Lisbeth. I keep
Yeah.
mixing up names.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna dash up to there. Hold on. Right there. So I use my action and my movement, just move up, and I'm shouting to Lord Gillington. Lord Gillington, you need to get out of here. This is not safe.
Who are you?
I'm Shadow Song. I was up on stage.
He shakes his head a little bit. Right. Get these people to safety. And he points towards the people running away from this event.
Okay. Brackmar, you got this, right? I inspire him from afar. If I can. Let's see.
I think it's within range.
Yeah, barely. Just within range.
Yeah, just within.
This is a huge tavern.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive here.
Okay, so that's my action, my movement, my bonus action. I'm done.
Alright. With that, this guy goes close. Oh, sorry. Is it him? No, I got the wrong guy. This guy goes close, starts swinging his sword, and you hear him chopping wood as it hits the table. It seems to be very difficult to hit this individual already, but even more so into the darkness. the lady here sees what's going on and just focuses her spot right in front of Gillingham and focuses onto the young people down here and screams out loud as she casts what is obviously a suggestion spell.
Oh,
She shouts towards the people, "Get away as fast as you can!" Some of them don't notice this, but definitely the rest of them do. And this makes them move a little bit faster than what they would otherwise be able to do.
mass suggestion?
Something like that.
This one comes closer, swings again. Why did I do this to myself? Misses. Now it's Brackmar's turn.
Yeah,
By the way,
me
this
and-
thing, that's your echo.
Yeah, I noticed.
I thought it
So
was
me
a
and my echo
dimension
will.
door.
Me and my echo will run in to do a full
Oh
surrounding.
no.
Mhm.
When she teleported, did she do any gestures?
Let's see. Did she? Did she? That's a good question. No, it doesn't look like she did.
Okay, then it just.
She did mutter something under her breath, but that's it.
Don't think I can manage to do that, so I'm just gonna start punching.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
With disadvantage because of the darkness.
And advantage because of flanking. So
Yes.
straight roll.
So straight roll, that's correct.
The first one is a nat 20, so instead of 5 damage, it's 6 damage. That's the first one. The second one is a 15 to hit.
Alright. With the first punch that you release onto this person, she wasn't fully aware of her. She wasn't really putting much in the way of defenses because she was confident in her own environment. But you just landed enough of a blow that landed just underneath her bicep that she lets go of the dagger and it slides down. And it just falls off onto the side. And everyone from outside the darkness can see that the shift of the shadow shifts
Does she
quite
drop
intense.
concentration on the darkness?
She dropped the weapon that had the darkness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The second attack, I don't know if it hit, but my.
You can roll the second attack again because the first one got rid of the dark. Oh, never mind. No.
No, it's still in. But I will have an unleashed incarnation, so one from my echo.
Okay.
It's 25 to hit with the echo, so another 5.
That's not bad considering no weapons. 11 in a
Yeah.
turn. That's a cantrip for some.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll. That be it.
Okay.
So I have no weapons.
Alright. You can see from out here where you are that the flames are trickling a little bit as Gillingham just exits that shadow and starts moving the people, or at least focuses on the people to get away. And with that,
kind of stands in like a protective fashion to make it seem like she's helping.
alright. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, he ends his turn there, taking a dodge action. So now it's Lisbeth. What do you do?
Alright, at least now that I can see her. I was actually wondering if I should cast silence, but I think not. It's how bloody does she look like?
Right now, you can't tell, actually. There's no way for you to
The
see inside
darkness
the
is
darkness.
still on. It just moved.
Alright. I think I'm going to. She's still 60 feet. I'm gonna toll the dead her.
Can you told the
There?
dead something you can't see?
Oh no, wait. I can't see her? I thought the
You
darkness
cannot
was
see
gone.
her.
No, it just
So the
moved.
darkness moved. Like she dropped her blade, and the blade was the one causing the darkness. So you can see in the room the
okay.
shadows move in a direction.
Okay. So it's kind of like the shadow moved like a few centimeters.
Well, 10 feet to be exact.
Oh, 10 feet. Wow. Um, hang on. I think I'm gonna have to go in there. I'll heal myself first because before I start dying again.
Good idea.
So I guess another third level healing spell. Why? Oh well, you're
Oh.
very lucky for just
Yeah.
15. Then I'm going to head in a bit. Where's this? I'm gonna try feel my way and go over here. Right. Okay. That's for my turn.
All right. Wading off into the darkness, Elizabeth just musters her resolve and just enters the shadows, and you see absolutely nothing inside, save for a few sounds of people fighting each other. Frigis, what do you do?
I saw Lisbeth just jump in through the total darkness. She thinks to herself, "Why not, right?" Or maybe not. I can't see anything inside, and all my spells requires me to see, but I can't see. Oh
Just
well.
haste yourself and go in there.
Might as well, right? Might as well. I cast haste on myself. Might as well. Might as well use a blade song as a bonus section. Why not, right? I am going to. So I have 100 feet of movement now, and so I shall zoom in, and then I would like to. So if the darkness comes from the dagger, does that mean if I look hard enough that there must be a pattern that the darkness comes from, right? Can I? Can
Hard
I?
to tell. Like, you can imagine it's like looking for a needle in a 30-foot cone. That's pretty large.
Yeah.
And once you're inside, you kind of lose perspective. But if you do somehow stumble upon a dagger or find it, you can't technically, but it would be very
Can I-
difficult. So in
Can I
this situation,
scan for the dagger
make a
in
perception
this-
roll with disadvantage.
in this total darkness? Disadvantage. 12?
You see nothing but darkness. You hear the occasional as the swords hit the table, and you hear the what looks to be sounds to be a bludgeoning attack, and you hear the just grunting sounds in a corner, but that's it.
Does looking for a dagger requires an action?
Free item interaction for me.
Okay, so I still have an action left, so I'm going to move a bit and ready action. If
Okay.
something comes close, I instinctively jabs into nothingness. Okay.
That's scary.
Okay. And with that, it is her turn again. As usual, she just bursts off in a burst of smoke, disappears, and reappears what seems to be near where the dagger had been dropped, picks up the dagger, and the shadow moves with her. It looks like Brackmore at the very edge of the shadows now. You can see more of the room as she rushes what looks to be the mage inside the area, or at least the magician of some sort, and she tries to stab her.
Did she move past me before she reached the mage?
Not necessarily.
I don't think we get AOT because we can't see. Do we?
You can with disadvantage still.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think she got to the dagger. She didn't. She went.
Yeah.
Not
Elizabeth
past
actually can.
I can? Then I will.
Yeah, Elizabeth actually can. With disadvantage.
Yeah. Unlucky, I guess.
Let's see. How do
Yeah.
I
The
make
dagger
alright.
again?
was on the other side.
How do I do that disadvantage thing again? From
Right click.
Right click.
oh wait, wrong one. There we go. No.
You hear footsteps in front of you, and you swing your warhammer wide, but you you hit nothing but air. After you swing your warhammer, you hear this, and you hear this, ah,
Oh,
as the mage just dies right next to you.
It's not the warhammer. It's the cursed battle axe.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then just swings wide in air.
Yep.
Nothing happens exactly. And with that,
Ah.
it is Enderald's turn. You are also now encapsulated by the darkness, and it's very difficult for you to find anything inside here.
No.
This is not good.
Which lady is that?
Oh
Did
no.
did I kind of see her move this way before it became dark?
Not at all, because she was covered in that darkness. You just saw the shadow sort of moving towards you like a tidal wave.
Okay. I just run back to the south and open the door for people to come outside.
Alright.
This way, this way. I gotta make a good impression.
Maria and the bartender didn't move.
Yeah, they're just like, huh, this is cool.
No, the
Just a
bartender's
normal
ducked down.
Monday.
The bartender's ducked down, and Maria also just ducked down as well.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
wait.
my turn.
With your door interaction, like interacting with environments, it's just a free item interaction for me. So you still have action, bonus action if you plan on doing something with that.
This is kind of like where I stashed my weapon, I suppose. So I take my saber, and I am just gonna attack. Do a Phrygius attack anyone who comes close,
Okay.
I'm here, everyone.
but not a civilian.
All right.
Kind of if the shadow comes too close and it feels like I'm in the center and something moves past me, then I will strike.
Okay. There are some weapons stashed over here, but with the ease of the moment, well, actually you can look for your saber, it's fine, because you're not really rushing to do anything else. Okay. Alright. This one moves blindly into the darkness. I'm gonna roll for perception to see if he can find it.
Oh no.
Not quite, he goes wide. This one does the same thing.
Do I attack him because he comes close to me?
You
I think
recall.
so. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
My call.
That was your trigger.
Yeah. As soon as anyone comes close.
Might as well, right?
Go ahead.
With disadvantage, right?
Oh.
Yep.
Be right back. Just 1 second.
Oh, come on! 19!
Hits.
Results, man. Just backstabbing people. Can't be trusted.
Thankfully no one can see this.
I know it.
Oh my, come on! Max damage! Come on!
You
11
You-
piercing, 1 acid.
Yeah. You extend your rapier just outside as you begin to hear footsteps running towards your direction, but you've seen the lady when Lisbeth explained it to you, and you expected a more softer touch onto the tip of your blade, but instead it slides off what feels to be steel and finds a soft landing, and you hear this grunt of a man going, "Oh!"
Oh no!
And you hear the swing in your general direction, but you're just able to pull back at the right time. Alright. This guy does the same thing, moves towards this direction, ends up stumbling across one of the barrels onto the counter. Brackmar, what do you do?
So I know where it was and I know where it went, as I have perspective from the light,
Mm-hmm.
since I'm halfway out,
Mm-hmm.
and I will try to rush in the middle and do something once I hit something.
Go ahead. With a direction running forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. You run 25 feet straight until eventually you feel a similar sensation, the cloth that you tried to grapple earlier.
Okay. Yeah, since I have a good idea to start properly. My echo will move, not flanking.
Hmm.
Actually. Yeah, it can. It can fly, so we'll go where the wizard used to be, since
Mhm.
she's fallen. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Red
And I
stains on her
will.
white cloak.
Yeah, I will just go punching.
Go ahead. Disadvantage still? Well, actually, flanking. Did I allow
First roll.
flanking on your echo?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So the first is a 9 to hit. There.
Oh, that's wide.
The second one is a 17 to hit.
Let me check that. All right.
And if it does hit, it's 5 damage, you know. And I will unleash incarnation again for a third punch. Sorry. And 19 to hit.
Hits.
5 damage.
All right.
And yeah.
Okay. Oh my
That's
gosh.
it.
All right. So you rushed off into the darkness, and as soon as you felt the familiar texture, you let out this flurry. The first
Yeah.
one goes a little bit wide. You feel it catch in between her cloak, but the second one lands somewhere you're not quite sure. But as soon as it lands there, you command mentally your echo to strike the same place, and it gets sandwiched off into the middle, and you hear this voice into the darkness. Do you
I
do
rush
anything?
with my the shoulder, then with the momentum try to elbow one
Mhm.
left, and then the from a bit above the echo try to
Nice.
strike down.
Bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Alright.
yeah, that's it. No weapons. I can't do anything else.
Okay. This guy starts gesturing towards it.
I would just scream here.
All right. These people definitely notice that. He starts speaking toward the one that's been with him. Don't be afraid of the darkness. Just head to the door. Escape this while you can. And the people are just like, losers who've never been in battle in their real life. So paralysis of fear catches them. They are moving at an extremely slow pace, but they are. And they all exit the darkness and sort of form a line ready to exit as Enderil is in front of them, gesturing them to go outside. But he stays here, just at the edge of the darkness. Elizabeth, what do you do?
Okay. Well, I know that she moved near me, so I'm just going to try and move closer to her
Mm-hmm.
and attack. Gonna put myself here, that's okay, right?
You can generally tell where she is because of Brackmar's shout also.
I just run in that direction until I hit into her.
Alright.
Where is... I keep trying to look for my character sheet.
Press spacebar.
Yeah, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So,
I
my
didn't know.
Warhammer is actually... I mean, is that thing.
It's the battle axe plus
Battle
one.
axe, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a +1. So that is 22.
Hits.
And... So I damage it for 7. Going to use...
8 total, don't forget it's a +1.
Oh yes, 8 total.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Suddenly I don't remember. Hang on. Gonna attack again with... Oh! What is that? No. I'm gonna attack again. Oh, no! One more. Is there a way to not make that thing pop up at the
Nope.
side there?
Everybody asks the same thing.
There we go.
Alright, 25 hits.
No.
Right, so 17.
It's 7. No, it's a 16. Because it's a disadvantage as well, right? 17.
Yeah, but the plus
Yep.
1, so 17.
Yeah, 17. 17 hits.
Okay.
Could have been a natural 20.
Oh no.
All right.
So 15 damage.
All right.
Yeah,
With that-
careful. You rolled with the not 20, automatically doubling your dice.
Oh, yeah, roll it again.
Eh?
Nice
Come again?
catch on that. Fedor. Roll your damage again because this is the crit damage.
Oh, okay. Alright, I see. So it took the crit damage. It's just a.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking, like, why is it so high? Wow.
All right.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Roll of 11 points of damage. You rush forward off into the darkness. You have a shield in hand, from what I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, but with your battle axe, it was a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how you brought that into the tavern, but let's say you did,
Wait,
and you swing it twice.
in.
It's fine. I forgot to mention it the first time you used it.
Alright.
You swing it twice, and it feels like you made contact. You feel fabrics being cut as your blade catches onto her clothing, and you hear this occasional as blood splatters across the ground. But you don't see this.
Okay.
You end your turn.
That was, by the way, that was my action and my bonus action. And also
Yeah.
movement, I suppose. Alright.
Okay. Frigis.
All right. I draw my parrying dagger, and it's time to go to town, I suppose. First attack. Is this a normal roll or
Disadvantage.
disadvantage? Okay. Number 1.
Anyone know how to dispel magic?
I do.
Sadly, no. 12 doesn't hit, I assume. Second one, that does not hit. Oh, I still have his action. His action. 21 to hit. Uh, 9 piercing.
How much is the acid?
1 acid.
All right.
And last one from my parrying dagger. That
Supposed
does
to
not
parry
hit.
with it.
Yeah,
Goes wide.
but nothing's attacking me. Might as well use it to kill the thing, right?
All right. So Brackmar, as you're punching them and you hear the slash of axes off to the side, you hear Lisbeth grunting and you realize your companion is here. When you hear quick footsteps similar to when Frigis does her ninja run, you hear this the sound of very thin steel, or at least a very thin object being swung around really quickly. But you didn't hear it make contact, save for once. And shortly after that, you hear another swing, but it goes wide. The creature was able to evade 3 of them out of the 4.
It's Frigis, I'm not surprised.
With that, you hear this final and disappears again in a black puff of smoke. And you can see that it envelops the blue flame entirely and stabs Lord Gillingham. Twice.
He sure has a lot of health.
Hope so.
You want to... Never mind. First one misses, second one hits. As the second one hit, you hear Lord Gillingham go... as he starts having difficulty breathing. He fails his save and suffers a total of 4 points of piercing and 18 poison. Minus 22. Alright.
I think I've met this chick before.
Not quite. Close, but... Alright. Enderl, what do you do?
Well, it just got black again. I want to just get these people out of here as quickly as possible because
Okay.
they're kind of freaking me out. Just get out of here. So I'm gonna spend my action, I think, just get everyone out. Can I do that?
Okay. Yeah, let's say it expedites them
Yeah.
in the movement because you're sort of like gesturing them to get out.
Yes.
You grab their sleeves.
All right.
And then I heard the Lord struggle, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna run up to them towards his voice. I think I have enough space. I mean, yeah, it's 30 feet. I'm just gonna run up to them
Mm-hmm.
and just wait until I can take an action again. I guess up there.
All right. All right.
I can't heal. I can inspire someone, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna inspire Lord Gillingham.
Okay.
You got this, my lord. We're here beside you. Don't worry.
You hear?
He can use a D8 on his next saving throw.
That's true. All right. These guys, as dumb as they are, arrive where Brackmar shouted earlier and start swinging, but you hear nothing get hit but wind and the floor. Brackmar, it's your turn.
Yeah, there's like I just finished hitting, got my hands back to myself, and I'm thankful for it because there's like 8 blades going on, just where my hands used to be. So I'm not going there. I'm gonna sidestep Frigis, very small figure next to me. I'm guessing that's her.
Mm-hmm.
First movement, again, and
This is so chaotic.
yeah, I'm gonna roll a G4 to return. See where I go. 4, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I go back out. See that I went in the opposite direction. Stay at the edge in case, so I can have a better idea.
Okay.
But I will send my echo. Then, where this.
Oh.
Do I need to make a roll to see if I can
No,
manage
it's fine. It's fine.
to guess where the middle is? Yeah.
It's okay.
And then my echo will just use its last Unleash Incarnation and try to hit 3 times.
Go ahead.
Do I flank with the old man or is he dying?
I don't think this causes flanking. He's not enough of a threat to really
Yeah.
do anything about it.
That's what I was guessing. So first, before I forget again, I will use the D8. Actually, no, I can't. It's my echo, not me. Can't use it. 18 to hit, though.
Hits.
5 damage, because my echo doesn't have a weapon either.
How do you do it?
Oh.
She has 2
echo can-
HP left.
The echo can float, so he will do. He was already up in the air from the. Since I wanted it to move where I thought someone was. Since he's the savage part of me, he'll do a Hulk smash again. Arc.
Nice. Alright. Almost instantaneously, from Enderal where you are, you hear to your left Lord Gillingham having difficulty breathing, but also you hear this table sort of shift off to the side as the echo moves towards the area, and you hear this a connection of a bludgeoning impact, a force impact onto the skin of this young creature, and you didn't see it, but you can imagine like the figure that's in front of you just falls down to the ground.
And then the darkness fades.
And then the darkness fades instantly. The dagger, let's say it's this one.
I did say that's the
Light.
savage part of myself, and I would unleash Incarnation beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 knees on the head afterwards.
Alright. So 2 more attacks just to make sure it's dead. And Enderal, you just hear this bones cracking in front of you.
Yes. Did you say the dagger flew away?
The dagger flew off to her side.
Okay, and landed on the ground. It's not like
Yes.
continuing to fly.
No.
Okay. I want to assess the situation really quick. Civilians are on their way out. How is the Lord looking? Is he in trouble?
Good thing that you asked, because it's his turn next. Gives-
Oh no.
And you have a... Oh, how much is your inspiration? Oh, nice. That's a 7. And with that, he
dies.
saves on the poison.
Are you okay, my lord?
Yes. Thank you. It's
Same.
fortunate you were here.
Yes, the same can't be said for your companion, though. Unfortunately, looks like she.
That's unfortunate. But the people, are they safe?
Most. I think there's a few that's dead up there. I point.
He sort of just has this disdain face in front of him.
Who is this lady?
I'm not sure. He gestures towards the 2 people and they sort of just rush towards where the body is. And one sort of fears this echo and sort of just moves around it.
I will. If it's over, I mean, like it's not all prey. I don't want to like. So it will dissipate.
Okay. Alright. He sort of sits down in front, grabs a chair, faces towards Enderal, just sort of like hands on his knees going. He also sheathes his sword and the aura around him disappears. He gestures the 2 people, the 2 people continue searching, and the rest of you are still here. While the 2 people are searching the bodies, what does the rest of you do?
I check on
While
the
my head is
spellcaster.
yeah. You go for
I'm sorry, everybody talked at the same
Sorry.
time. What was that?
I check on the
go first, it's fine.
spellcaster to see like if there's anything I can do to help her. Like
Okay.
she's dead or she's unconscious dead.
It
Can
looks
I
like
heal
this
her
one.
up?
Well, let me check how much damage she took. She didn't have a lot of HP to begin with.
Alright.
Couple of turns has passed. Let's do...
That is true.
Well, she failed all 3, so no, she's dead.
Alright.
Oh
okay.
god.
Then I'm gonna go up to Enderal and the attacker, the assailant is dead on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tell Enderal, this was the lady who was staring at you at the tavern the other day. Remember the one
Really?
who ran out?
Oh. Wait. Was she after me? And there was then kind of thinking she was after the lord, the merchant.
I have no clue, but
Yeah.
when she came down the stairs, she was staring at you. That's why I placed a shield.
Thank you. It didn't help very much, but it was very very nice of you to do that.
I'm sorry, it was the first thing I could think of.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Mar has his hands on his hips, just a blow on his knuckles. 1. Why does everybody have a weapon in this scene? 2. Why can't you hit with it? Blow again on the other knuckle.
I'm sorry,
Essentially.
after today's event, I really couldn't feel safe without one, so I kind of hit it on my person. I'm so very sorry, but I'm glad I did.
I kind of introduced Lisbeth to Lord Gillingham, or what is his name?
Yeah,
And say like this: she's a cleric and she's a healer. If you have any ills, you can talk to her.
Unfortunately, I can't cure death.
No.
That's-
And then I
not-
also want to go and loot the woman. Ask what they got. Those guys found.
As Lisbeth gets her attention towards Lord Gillingham, he sort of gestures around. Look at the others first and see if they're fine.
Yes, sir. And I'll
While-
go then.
Yeah. While the other 2 are sort of searching the bodies, the body, it looks like there's nothing too much to identify her, save for a very small scroll case. And by scroll case, it's nothing like a paper scroll like that. It's sort of like a pouch like this, and it has this small lock at the very front, and the guys are sort of tinkering around with it, but they can't seem to open it. The body of this individual is obviously not human. It's some form of drow from the blue skin that she has. It was a little bit harder to tell. It looked like she had just really pale skin, but now under the direct light of the torches nearby and her darkness spell has faded, you could tell that it's a little bit on the weaker side, but it is a little bit blue in hue. She's got fangs to match that as well. Black ichor falls off to the side of her cheek, and of course multiple wounds around her body. Thin, thick claws sort of still scraped against the floor until her very last moments. But aside from the dagger that flew and the small pouch that they found, there's not much ways to identify who this person is.
Yeah. Before anyone notices, I am gonna just pocket the dagger. I'm gonna be very careful though and not touch it directly because it looks scary. And
Okay.
then I want
do
to.
that.
Well, if you do that, then that's fine. Then you do that. Then I ask the two guards, like, can I help you with that? Maybe I can open it.
All right, go ahead, take a look. There's this very small lock in front, and it doesn't seem particularly complicated, but it is a lock.
Okay. I just take it and go sit on like this table right there, and I'm gonna try to open it.
All right. You have a thieves' tools. I remember from when you bought in the festival. Go ahead, make a d20 for it.
I am not proficient with it, but
Not
I
yet,
have
but
it.
You can roll a d20 with it. Yes.
I'm just at the door.
So it's probably just that plus dex then, right? Oh no, that's a 4.
You're
So,
tinkering around with it. Thankfully, it's not enough to jam the thing completely. And this is the first time you used some of the tools here. But you figured if you were to give a bit more time, probably more focus rather than like 2 minutes, an hour maybe onto this thing, and you're confident you can deal with it. It doesn't seem anything particularly expensive of a lock or something complicated. It's beginner at best.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I just cast major image around my table, so it appears to myself that I'm sitting alone in like a garden of some sort with birds and like a stream, so I can focus.
All right. While Enderal does that, what does the rest of the party do?
I want to cast identify as a ritual on the dagger.
Okay. Immediately onto the dagger, you see Frigis sort of going to the corner of the room without touching it, just sort of extending her hand onto this what looks to be it's a very thin dagger, but it's not like a crossguard style. It's a rondel one. I can't explain it. It's just a dagger with a circular handguard. Essentially,
Rondel dagger, just for
rondel
stabbing.
dagger, just for
Big
stabbing.
point, and the
Yeah.
guard is like so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly used against armored knights, but yeah, that's what it looks like. And you can tell that this dagger, without too much, you can't tell the lore of it or whatever this dagger is or where its origins are, but you can tell the magical components of it. And it feels like this dagger can cast darkness once per day.
Oh hey, hey guys, who likes to be sneaky? This dagger can. Oh, yeah, good for you. That this dagger can cast darkness once per day, and since she's dead, she's a drow, right?
Sister, it's ours
Yeah.
now.
Since she's dead, yeah, it's ours now. So feel free, I suppose.
Thank you. If I can take it, I'll take it.
Yeah, you can. I don't think it suits me that much anyway.
Beautiful, though.
Who of you roll for general history check?
History check.
Yeah, history.
I think I'm proficient, but I don't have any intelligence.
I will be at the door, kinda.
12.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Both of you easily tell enough. Like, despite being spellcasters mostly, you are dabbled a little bit in the martial arts. This rondel dagger, with its design, can ignore resistances to piercing. That's it.
Good against
Oh.
skeletons, I guess.
Or arm.
Or a turtle. The DOS turtle.
Next BBEG. All right. What does Lisbeth and Brackmar do during this time?
I'm gonna
I'll
deal with the
be-
dead people, so just easy that up.
Okay.
I will be on the entrance. If some people didn't run far enough, I'll just tell them that it's good. And since it's very rich environment we're in, I'm expecting guards really fast. I'm here, and, looking in charge, trying to make a good impression once they can.
Okay.
Work my
All
way
right.
up into the officials of the city.
Okay. Cecilia just runs towards what's this guy's name? Banley, the gnome owner. And Maria, out of the corner of your eye, just sort of in tears, just goes towards Brackmar and mutters to him like, "Does it ever end?"
Oh no.
At least she's
She
safe.
does.
Physically, anyway.
After,
wa-
go
I
ahead.
want to keep an eye on the Lord, what he's doing while I'm kind of tinkering with this thing.
He's sort of just holding onto the side of his chest where the wound is. He seems to be lost in thought, trying to figure out the situation or assessing the situation as well. He shoots glances at each one of you every now and again, and the two people are still sort of searching the body. And he seems to be trying to make sense of the situation. Go ahead and roll for insight while you take a glance at him. What was that?
5.
Oh, well, you can't really tell, but he's just taking a look around. That's it.
I just... Please come and sit with me. Let us talk a little bit while I work with this. It's much more pleasant here.
He stands up and smiles at you. A strange request, you realize as soon as you ask for it for him. But he humors you and sits down with you as well. And he looks around and he says, "You and your friends, where are you from?"
I'm not exactly sure where everyone else is from, but I'm from Tortuga, I think the name is. Something like that. Toroga.
A long way. What brings you all the way to New Crest Hill?
Oh, well, I'm kind of like working on becoming like a famous kind of bard. So that's why I was performing here tonight.
Thankful that you were, yes.
Yes, my friends, they're all traveling for different reasons, but we make a good team, I think.
That much is evident, yes. It's a shame your performance was cut a bit short.
Oh yeah. I mean, thank you. I mean, did you like it?
Yes.
I find your show quite magnificent, though.
Thank you. Oh, that was just like the first beginning of the first act. I had a lot more planned, I say. Well, I'm just trying to open this damn lock.
I was just about to mention, go ahead and make another roll with that.
Cool. My rolls have been excellent today, so I'm expecting the best.
No, you just jinxed it.
Yep, natural one. Oh, incredible. So the pin just breaks. Kink! Ah! Merde.
My gosh, I couldn't have prepared that better. Yeah. You're sort of tinkering away, having a conversation, and he says your performance was great. It just ticks off a little bit. And you realize it's either you do this blunt force or you take this to a professional locksmith. Like, you just smash it open, or locksmith is the most obvious choices to you right now.
Exactly. So I'm I kind of put it aside for a little bit because I want to continue talking. And I just want to, like, while everyone else is doing their thing, I want to kind of subtly dig for information, trying to get to know this guy and figure out what he does around here and his importance and stuff like that.
You gather from a very short conversation, no more than 5 minutes, that he just says he's the merchant. He's just like everyone else, except he's been put up into one of the 5 barons to lead Newcrest Hill in the absence of the Earl. And very quickly you are informed that the Earl Grantham, had been off on a diplomatic journey for the past few weeks. So the ones who are in charge in his absence are the 5, which has been mentioned to you previously in passing, but only now do you realize what they are. The
noble,
judge,
the professor,
noble,
the guard, the judge,
and the merchant. Yes.
Yeah.
So he explains to you that whenever there's a decision to be made, it has to be the majority of the 5 to make that decision, unless it's a safety situation. So, for example, taxes, shipping, whatever, and all those boring stuff, all 5 of them, or at least 3 out of the 5 have to agree. And that's essentially what you hear about.
So, does he rule like a part of the city, or is he
Not-
like the steward that he manages the city's treasury?
Not so much. It looks like it's hard. Go ahead, roll for a persuasion check. Just see how quickly you can ascertain the information in a span of like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Out of character, I think it's like they're a console once the Earl is not here.
Yeah,
Right.
something like that.
14.
You well, 14. You're a smooth talker. He just tells you that he has multiple properties into the area, and he's in charge of what comes into the mercantile aspect of the city. So, for example, how much is being taxed? If new businesses are being put up, he has to go through him. And if there are problems in the business, he's the one who brings it up to the Earl. But in terms of money of Newcrest Hill, he has no access to it at all, save for the Earl himself.
Like, does he have an office?
He does. He just he doesn't give too much information. He just tells you that it's in the middle, where the Crown's Guard is, the center, the Citadel.
Okay.
Soon enough, a couple of guards come forward from the outside, taking notice of the ruckus, and they see Brackmar standing, just hands on the hip, into the entrance. And the guards come forward, and he says, "What happened here?"
An assassination attempt on the merchant.
Is the merchant alive?
Let him through.
They all come in, and they're wearing full plate armor. A couple of the banners of the Crown's Guard off onto their left side, onto the left pauldron, sort of imprinted on the pauldron itself. They come forward, and they see Lord Gillingham, and they all sort of stand up in attention. And he says, "My lord, I'm glad to see you safe." And Lord Gillingham, just sort of just waves it to the side. Doesn't take too much attention to it.
We're sitting in this magical garden.
That's true, like a couple of trees growing around you. Yeah, it's true. The guards see this, you see their eyes dart back and forth a little bit, but they don't mention it at all in the presence of the Lord Gillingham. Lord Gillingham stands up and he says, "Well, I must repay you for helping these people and of course for helping me. Is there anything you need assistance with?"
Could you somehow like unbolt this lock here?
Of course, I can have one of my... He just grabs it and tosses it to the guard, and the guard...
I kind of get up and follow it.
The guard's holding it, and then you sort of grab it from his hands.
Well, no, I just want to know where it is, so I don't run away with it.
Ah, alright. Well, if you follow him, he can probably take you to his office where he would find someone capable of opening that thing.
I can take care of it myself. I'll take care of it myself.
As you try to grab it, suddenly the two people off onto the body finally respond, and they sort of have a face of confusion, and sort of just lift a small pouch, and it's what's the word that escapes me? It's scarlet in color. It's not an ordinary coin pouch, and there seems to be an insignia off into the front. And Lord Gillingham's face turns serious, grabs it, and then takes a look at it. From where you're standing, you can also see Lord Gillingham holding the pouch, and it's the pouch used by officials of the Crown's Guard. So you can see it's not a letter or initials that have been put through, it's the symbol that's similar to the pauldrons. And Gillingham just pockets it and says, "You speak of this to no one." That's all he says.
I'm paying attention to this. Hairs on wires. I don't know what to say.
All right. It looks like he just gets the small pouch, and definitely there are coins on the inside. And he just puts it away onto his very own coat. And he just gestures everybody to start moving on to the area. And your box stays with you. And he says, "I might have something for you.
Very well.
Tonight, things have been put into perspective. And I feel like it's been going on for too long. You've seen what has happened here. And you've seen the harm done to these people. And I plan to put a stop to it. Meet me tomorrow. At dawn? Dawn. By the west entrance of the citadel. I'll have my men bring you into my office. And I have a job for you waiting then."
Perfect. We'll be there. You can count on us.
"As for tonight, I can only give you this." And he gestures towards one of the two people with the gigantic swords, and they sort of stand up, shifting their weight a little bit more tired than usual, and just grabs a small pouch similar to the one that they pulled from the young lady and just hands it over to you. It's quite heavy. You could tell that it's quite big, the contents that are inside from how you're holding it. You haven't opened it quite yet. But Gillingham explains, "Tomorrow at dawn."
Okay. All right. I pocket the bag and take the box. And I kind of like courtesy to say goodbye to him
Alright.
and go to Brackmore. Hey,
He gathers
Brackmore.
the people and they exit unless anyone catches up to him.
Bye, you're welcome.
Hey, can you open this?
Flexertal. What, this? Yeah, sure. Take it. Go to Frigris. Don't ask. Take her a rapier. Just like
Wait, what?
she did like 2 days ago.
Careful,
Yeah,
there's
I
a bit
mean-
of wood.
I mean, I could. I mean, you could have just asked.
Make an athletics check just for this one to see how well you can finesse your way through. There's acid onto the rapier itself, but it just feels like you need a... As the chain gets weak, or the lock gets weaker, you need to tink it out
23. Athletics.
easily enough. After putting the rapier down, you can see some joints of it get to weaken, and you just tink, almost like a crowbar. The chain falls down to the ground, and it's not a particularly heavy lock. It just opens up, and it feels like you could open the very top part of it to get some of the scrolls that are put inside.
Yeah, I open it.
You open it.
Can I have my rapier back, boy?
I already give it back to you.
Ah,
Okay, open the box.
3 scrolls inside.
Oh,
Small ones. The container is about this size, really. A WD-40 can.
Okay.
And each scroll is about this long.
Well, that's boring. Give it back.
it
I unscroll
it
one.
might be.
Lord Gillingham, the merchant, signed at the bottom, pay upon proof of elimination or assassination. Signed by Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
That's all that parchment says.
She
Yeah, I open
actually
the next one.
brings her receipt together with her.
The next one.
What?
Next one. Elimination of Enderol Shadow Song. But at the bottom you see something else written, like a slash. And it's a longer name. Signed by Turok of the Sand.
Look off the sand.
Turok.
Who the fuck
This-
is this guy?
You'd remember this Enderol Wood because he was the man chasing after you in Heinfell.
Right, okay. Shit. That's a problem. Wow, he's serious. And the third one?
The third one, you open it up. And it's not a name that's known to you. It's named Vesuvio. Signed by Cecilia.
So Cecilia is out to kill Vesuvio.
Mama
Cecilia?
Cecilia. Why?
Who is Cecilia again? I've heard this name before, but
Isn't she supposed to be like the good one that Ender was supposed to impress?
The guy that I abandoned in the middle of a fight because she wouldn't run away, so I kind of undid her invisibility while I invisibilitied myself.
Everyone make a history check.
This is before I joined, right?
Yeah.
It's like a noble. that
Everyone
has
make a history check,
art
real-
collection.
Go ahead.
10.
11.
18.
Everyone doesn't seem to remember. Yeah, Elizabeth, go ahead, roll for intelligence as well.
For some reason.
Alright. So Lisbeth and Enderol. No, sorry, Lisbeth and Enderol. I assume you've all gathered together to read that scroll. Both of you look towards the direction onto the counter. Cecilia is the barmaid, the barkeeper.
Oh. Shh.
The barkeeper from
Oh, it's the one with the picture.
Mhm.
the barkeeper with who?
This,
The barkeeper that's
that's her. This is her.
What? Oh, is that why she's here?
But who's Vesuvio? Maybe he's still alive?
maybe is he her ex?
I don't know.
She doesn't look like
We-
someone who would actually get a hit on another person.
We could ask her father about this. Maybe
We
her
just-
father knows.
Shall we just go over there and confront her about it?
Are we sure? Are you sure that's a great idea? I mean, it's 3 versus 2, but we are not in a tip-top shape.
That's true. I feel a bit rough.
DM, like from here, we can see Cecilia, right? Can I make an insight check to see how she's looking?
Go ahead.
Like, I particularly want to see if she, shoot, probably. Why? It's a +6. Why do I roll so bad?
You can barely see her. Her head's underneath the
Ah.
counter. You can see like the top part of her scalp peering through the tabletop, but essentially she's still hiding.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my god!
Well, we should
We-
maybe think
since,
that. Sorry, go on.
she's gonna say like, well, since we've already handled her, well, the person she employed anyway, she's probably going to have to find another way to get to this Vesuvio fellow. Perhaps in the meantime we can speak to her father to get a better grab of what kind of person she is.
Okay.
I left for 2 minutes. Did you guys kill her? Or
No, we're still manning up to go. We were just talking about it.
We put her head in the pitchfork.
stop, you deviant?
What do you guys do?
Well,
Are there still guards?
The guards have left. The barkeep and the daughter of the barkeep are sort of just behind, stunned over the event. They haven't moved since, although it hasn't been very long since the end of the assassination. It's been like 6 minutes max. And they're just standing behind their mouth slightly agape, without any movement. Just looking at the damage in the area, looking at the dead people in the area. This is a shock for them, definitely.
Can I ask, Mr. Merchant, can I ask you one question, please?
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
What about this woman? Is she still here?
He's dead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I thought they removed her corpse or something. I want to see. I mean, she's a spell casting type. I want to see if there's a spell book on her.
This one?
That's
The one right next to you? No, I mean, the one right next to you
Uh-huh.
doesn't look like she has any with her.
Well,
That's-
worth a shot.
About the little notice about Cecil. Do we want to know?
I mean, we already do know.
I mean, do you want to know more?
Of course, this is a mystery.
Then
Like-
just go ask. And I go to Cecil, get my face next to hers. Who's Vesuvio?
You go towards the counter and you just sort of like her head's just underneath it slightly, and you just sort of loom over her. If you've seen like Attack on Titan with the gigantic, you sort of loom over her and ask her, "Who's Vesuvio?" And she just bursts off into tears and she goes, "I didn't know. I had no idea this was what was going to happen. I swear, it wasn't me. I just thought, I didn't think it would go this far. I don't know." And she just streams of tears fall down her face, and her father's sort of surprised. "Cecilia, what are you talking about?"
Yeah,
Just-
you didn't answer my question.
It's
Answer.
my fault, Dad. It's my fault. I didn't know. That's all she says repeatedly, but you can probably peer more information if you want to.
Look
But
back
she
and
doesn't
then the
deny
just
it.
shrug.
This is terrible. This is absolutely heartbreaking.
Maybe we should ask some guards to arrest her, and then they can do the investigation.
Good idea. For once. From you.
Cecilia, can you speak to us?
Thank you.
Oh, please, I didn't mean to. I didn't think it would go
Yes.
this far. I just
Unfortunately, that does not matter anymore, my dear. Can you please sit down and speak to us about this, because that person has also targeted the merchant and also our friend. Can you
I
tell
had
us where
nothing
you
to do
found her?
with it. I promise.
Indeed, but can you at least tell us where you found her?
I heard from the alleyways, the talk of the street. It's just, I heard that if you wanted someone gone, you had to contact them. It's just, all they asked for was just money, and I had a bit saved, and I just wanted Vesuvio gone.
I'm gonna go get the guard, because we have the scrolls that they didn't see yet.
This guy, if you're like right here, if you're like right here and you're moving out, he just sort of like scatters around and tries to stop you, but obviously he can't. He's like half your height.
No, I mean, if he tries to, I would see it and stop. What?
He just puts. Maybe we can talk this through. This is all a misunderstanding, I'm sure.
Cecilia,
I mean-
you said them. Is she part of a group?
I'm sorry. Like me, I don't understand what.
Like, is she part of a group? Because you did say them.
Maybe like a brotherhood or something.
They call themselves the Grim Company. That's all I know. I promise. I've never met her. I was just instructed to leave a name and to sign on a piece of paper and to just pay half up front and then half on completion of the job.
How much did you pay?
A bit. 250 gold pieces.
200.
And
Guys,
You can see her father going off. Like,
my life, and I'm kind of on the other tangent. My life is worth only 250 gold pieces. Can you guys imagine that? Jeez.
yes,
No, yeah, yours might be a bit more expensive because they probably had to travel all the way here.
Oh,
Ain't that price a
Yeah.
bit familiar though? That price range a bit familiar, no?
it's
I
familiar.
think we met some guy that may have a connection between.
Yes, you're right. Maybe we should. And they deal in babies. They have this. I meant to talk to you about this, but so many things happened, and I'm not comfortable with what we did at all. And I think we need to go undercover and take this shit down. All
I
right?
know, right?
why?
I know, right?
Stir the
Imagine-
guards.
The guards
I
can't
mean-
do anything.
Did you try?
It's every book is like this. Read a book one time, There's always corruption, and the guards get paid, and you need to do things yourself. You need to blend in, and you need to go and do like covert ops and stuff.
Wow.
You're crazy.
I mean, I have seen a book with that kind of plot before. It's
Elizabeth,
possible, Blackmar.
Elizabeth, you need to talk some reasons into them. They're out of it.
Who, Fridges?
Both of them. They just want thrill.
Well,
I mean, it could be possible if you think about it. I mean, they deal in babies, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Hey. Do you know how many babies are just abandoned and left? Or kids in general?
what? Nope.
This one has been paid for. It's like
Who-
one of the good ones, one of the lucky ones.
Who would abandon their baby? Like, who does that? No one
Lots of
does that, Brakmar.
And you're talking about, how about you go outside?
What?
and you realize, obviously, Cecilia's an adopted daughter.
I live the sheltered life, okay?
Maria actually speaks up right behind Brackmar this entire time, and she just goes against. She doesn't. I've heard of them, and I'm afraid your friend Enderroll, no matter how reckless, and her voice is still shaky from the 3 days of intense craziness.
I think it's high time we let her go.
Company has some of the gods in their pockets. I don't think it would make any difference.
Maria, are you okay? You sound a little weak.
It's been a very testing few days. From
Oh.
my father to that, and then she starts breaking down a little bit. I'm fine. I'm sure it's
Where's
a
Maria? Come on. It's alright. Everything's
Yeah,
gonna be fine.
As she tries to like go on me, probably I just dodge her. Push Friggis.
I'll handle this. Don't worry. I'll handle this. It's fine, Maria. Let it all out, Maria. Let it all out.
She
look-
sobs very gently off to the corner.
But listen, now we have an inn, right? We have Cecilia here. She can probably take us to them, and we can pretend like we have some sort of tiefling baby, and instead it's just like trap. Okay, we just take them, and
I've never met them. I've just
Oh.
I know how to contact them, but I've never actually met one except for tonight face to face.
It's crazy. How we have one smooth talker, one supposedly smart one wise one. How am I the only one with common sense?
that's your superpower.
Secretly, you are the smartest from all of us.
If you just keep this to yourselves and just my father's been through a lot. I don't want him to. This would ruin him, and I would just take you to what I know if you just promise to keep it to yourselves. It was a
question.
mistake.
That Vesuvio was.
Huh?
I look at the corpses on the side. Was the target finished? Was your deal done?
She sort of looks away and she says, "Yes."
Then you need to pay the other half or the complement for you, right?
That may happen, yes.
That's correct. Yes.
Then you need to do that, and then
And
we can
when-
come with you.
Yes, when they come for her, we instead come for them. Good plan, Brakmar. I love it.
Instead of going into the shadows, you fucking you make no sense.
I was instructed that tonight, after the show, I were to meet them in the alleyway between the Mercantile Plaza and the West End. I can take you.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I just
I'm.
pinch my nose. Think about my drugs going bad. Okay, I'm going opposite direction. Get my armor on and come back. Fuck all of this.
All right, let's do this. But listen, Cecilia, if we're gonna do this, we need to be able to stay here and not pay anything. Okay?
Dad, but Dad's like, no problem. Yes, anything you need.
Perfect.
My
You,
daughter
you can you can have some of your guys collect my stuff from the Silver Spoon.
the silver spoon, and he calls it like there's two other Goliath that come through. These guys have been staying in the Silver Spoon, and the guys are sort of like fidgeting. We didn't know. If you remember, like they were the ones who recommended it in the first place, and the guy just shoots them a glance. But generally, they help towards getting your stuff.
Excellent. Okay. Now I'm very, very happy about our situation, guys.
Or Goliath the host might not be here again, but since I'm already going to put my armor on and get my weapons, since I was the only one without anything,
As you mention it,
I will show them.
as you mention it, you go towards the area in the Silver Spoon, and the Goliath is still not there.
Something's
Oh,
happened to him,
yes.
and we're just not investigating at all.
Is he okay?
I mean, food's still being served, so not a problem.
He's been gone for 3 days, but the food is still here. Well, not my problem anymore.
Well, 2 days. He's been gone for 2 days since you arrived in the evening from the tunnels, and today. It's been 2 days for like the last 4 sessions.
He has
For the last
a very well family life and good employees. No worries.
Probably. Okay.
Well, if I'll wait for you here, and then I can take you to them once you're ready. And I'm really scared, you guys.
Don't worry.
Are we sure we
Should
want
be.
to do this tonight?
Do we have to?
Yeah, she said she had to meet him tonight. Sadly.
I'm not sure if her death affects anything, but
Means you have to
I
pay
don't want
now.
to risk. I don't want to risk getting into the bad reputation with the Grim Company.
No shit.
Don't worry. In a few days, the Grim Company will be gone.
I
She
am
lets out a
scared,
very
Enduro.
Hmm?
Like that is a very bold statement.
Well, we can
That's
do it,
because-
right?
Lisbeth, you know she's delusional. Stop.
I would say a month, but
Yes.
Okay. So
If
it's
you
like a long
remember,
term.
Enderal, me and Frigis, we fell within the first moment of her attack.
That's
I'm
true.
very sorry.
That's true. That
In
was a powerful attack.
reality, Brakmar going to get on his armor and coming back probably takes half an hour, because it's like a minute or like 5 minutes to take up the brigandine and all his other stuff, and to travel back and forth from the 2 establishments. So it would take him half an hour to go through already, just getting his equipment coming back. And so you can stay here and rest, short rest at the very least, if you'd like.
That's a good idea.
Come back with my brigandine, 2 big polearms in my back, and just one plate, one other plate on it, and water, and just trying not to spill anything. I still have hope.
let's do short rest.
All right.
How do I do short rest again?
Short
There's a
rest.
short rest button at the top.
Oh yeah.
Two.
And I also have one.
I sing my song of
Nice.
rest, so you can add a d6 to your things.
A D6?
Who needs that? Just
No,
get
d8,
hit.
d8. Right?
1d8 or equals to the number of hit die?
No, it's
Just one.
probably a 1d6, sorry, yeah. Song of Rest
D6.
is, Song of Rest is static, it doesn't scale.
It
Still a
doesn't scale.
6. I mean, with a party of 5, that's a 5d6 value.
Or,
Oh,
I
why
mean,
don't I see
just
my...
don't get hit. Girl. Why do you have HP missing? Don't get.
Hang on.
Brackmar comes together onto the area, and you can see Cecilia has gotten off a very basic cloak. A high quality, but you know, it's nothing extravagant. It's just a plain purple burlap that she puts off over her head to cover her auburn, or at least, like, she's a redhead, so she's her red hair. And she looks at everybody and starts to wonder, is everybody ready? And there's this silence that falls into the room just before then. As you go out, you begin to hear a very slight amount of rain. Because that was so loud.
Just
Go ahead.
one second. I'll say,
Go ahead.
Maria, go sleep. You will sleep in one of the best shits in the city, right? And I look at the halfling.
No, of course. I'll give her the best room in the building.
Nice.
So and also before we go out into the rain,
Mhm.
we're clear about the plan, right? We're gonna ambush these guys, and we're gonna kill all but one, and then we're gonna torture him and
What?
get info from him.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Go there.
Wait.
See how it goes. If we can talk, we should. Cause I'm not really sure, but when the people in my village said company, it's like more than 2 people. Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying she should go alone?
No, we go with her, but
Right.
as bodyguards, and then see what happens.
Okay. But I don't want anything like last time, like we just let them leave with a innocent baby. This time we take action, alright? We're gonna track these motherfuckers down, alright?
Be
I mean,
reasonable,
might as-
please. I beg.
Might as well, right? Mage armor.
You're
Alright.
getting hyped for nothing. She didn't see anything when she paid first time. When would she see someone the second time?
I'm
I
not
mean, it's
sure.
better-
I'll take you to where I was told to go, but I'm not sure if there are any there. But I will help you in whatever way I can.
Let's go.
Better to be safe than sorry, right? Right. We going?
As you all gather together towards the southern exit of this tavern, Maria and this guy are sort of led towards the upstairs where the better rooms are. You could see after Maria goes up the stairs, she sort of lets down a very gloomy and sad expression towards the rest of you. A mixed feeling of relief of getting a night rest, but also the fear of not ever seeing you guys again, and also the experiences so far. She eventually goes up the stairs. You go outside the doorway. You all put up whatever cloaks you have, and the rain drips onto your shoulders. Before the door closes behind you, you can see Bunley start cleaning up the corpses that were left inside. And Cecilia just looks at you one more time and says, "Are you ready?"
It's a bad day for rain.
We are ready. Let's
It's
go.
always a good day to rain.
She eventually takes you off into the western. You're already in the western plaza, but she takes you off into the transition between the mercantile district and the western plaza, which is 30 minutes walk away. The rain pours down above you as you head off, trying to meet possibly a member or members of the Grim Company. And that's where we're going to end tonight's encounter. Thank you for playing as usual. And thank you for not dying after that first roll. I slightly said like, oh snap, 2 new characters.
Thank
Well-
you, everyone. Thank you, Andrew, for healing me up first.
Yeah, that's
Alright. Thank you for playing. Of course, I'll let you guys know how the next session will go. I'm going to work out some schedules and see how that works out.
Do we
Alright.
get level up?
No. You just turned 6. No, thank you.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay,
Good
thank
night,
you,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye bye. Have
See
fun.
ya.
Bye.
Bye bye. And also to those of you who watch on Twitch, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys again next week.